Hello, my fellow Nigerians. My name still remains Faduri Olwadari Joseph, aka Father Joe. It is so sad that over a month now, that subsidy has been removed. The government claimed to have saved over 1 trillion naira. I think it's very important for many Nigerians to act the same government who have saved over 1 trillion naira, borrowing $800 million, equivalent of 500 billion naira. If government has saved 1 trillion naira in 1 month and thereabouts, so what it means that we have 2 times 500 billion naira that we are borrowing. So why are we borrowing $800 million, which is about 500 billion naira? Why are we borrowing that when we just saved 1 trillion naira in subsidy removal? It's very important for us to ask this question, because if we don't have these questions, we won't get answers to it. The problem has been that so many government has been coming in and coming out and doing all this sort of stuff, and nobody's asking them questions, and that is why they do whatever they like. So it is also very important for us to ask President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his government, if you have saved 1 trillion naira in the last 30-something days or 40 days of your government, then why are we borrowing $800 million? And why? And why? And why? And why? Also, since subsidy removal, Nigerian people have not seen any palliative. The only palliative that Mr. Government, Mr. President, is trying to give Nigeria is 8,000 naira, to 12 million Nigerians. My question also to Mr. President is, out of 200 million Nigerians, how did you arrive at your 12 million? Nigeria is divided into 6 geopolitical zones. So for federal character, there must be 2 million people from each zone. So how do you arrive to the 2 million from each zone and to make up your 12 million poverty in Nigeria? Because I'm aware that 98% of Nigerians are under the poverty line in our country. So meaning that if you're going to talk about poverty in our country, half of Nigerians live in poverty, which is over 100 million of people. Over 150 million of people live in abject poverty in our country. So how do you arrive at 12 million out of 200 million? If it is not just those 12 million that voted for you, as the case may be. That is my conclusion. But I may be wrong, and that is why I'm asking Mr. President to please tell Nigerian people, talk to Nigerian people, how you come about the 12 million, the database that will be used to distribute this money. It is very important for our journalists. It's only in Nigeria that journalists don't ask questions. They only release news, and nobody is carrying their camera as journalists to pursue president, to pursue his spokesperson, and ask them questions to break down to Nigerian people how 12 million is going to be given 8,000 naira. Who are the 12 million? But instead of we doing that, why can't we take this money and buy a lot of buses and put it on the street of Lagos, Kano, Abuja, Zamfara, Sokoto, Port Harcourt, Ibadan, Osun, and everywhere, and let Nigerians enjoy a ride that is cheap and which will in fact help the farmers to bring their products into the market at a reduced price, and the price can also go down, because it will have a ripple effect not just on those who are taking transportation, but also on farmers who need transport to bring their goods to the city to sell. So these are ripple effects. And when people are advising government, who are the ones advising government that giving 8,000 to Nigerian people is the solution to subsidy removal? Remember, Mr. President, that former President Muhammadu Buhari did the same thing, giving 5,000 to people we don't know till today, whether they are alive or they are ghosts. What we heard was that Buhari government was giving 5,000 to millions of people in Nigeria. I don't think one person has come out to say, I was part of those people receiving that 5,000. The same policy is what you are bringing forward, giving the same millions of people, 12 million people, 8,000 that will have no record, no database. In the age of computer and age of technology. So these are policies that are a joke to so many good leaders, good people around the world. If you're going to help Nigerian people by putting buses, many buses on the road. Help Nigerian people by increasing wages. It's over 40 days of your government. Minimum wage is still 33,000. It took the lawmakers, the House of Rep, the Senate, it took them less than 48 hours to approve 70 billion for themselves. But in more than 40 days, your government has not been able to approve 60,000 minimum wage for Nigerians. That shows sincerity. That shows the insensitivity of your government to Nigerian people. People are suffering on the street of Lagos, on the street of Kaduna, on the street of Zamfara, on the street of Abuja, on the street of Calabar. People are suffering all over Nigeria. And what our lawmakers are doing is making laws that will please them, that will benefit them. Buying new cars, buying new products in a country where an average Nigerians can't even afford transportation to their workplace, transportation to the market. So these are very important issues that I want Mr. President to please give an answer to, because it's very important. If your government is sincere about giving a hope to Nigeria, these are hopeless policies. They're not policies that have hope with it. Until we start asking questions, the press, the journalists, and every Nigerians, until we start asking questions. Also, Nigerian people, if your House of Rep members, your honorables, your lawmakers, your senators come to your constituency, what do you ask them? Do you go to them to ask for share of the 70 billion? Or do you ask them, what did you go to Abuja to go and do? To represent me or to represent you? Until we get to that point, we're not going to have politicians who will do the right thing in our country. Because the ones we have now are the ones who does what pleases them. And they come back to their constituency to give you money. 10,000, 20,000, until we stop rejecting politicians' money and ask them to do the right thing by our people, by our country. We're not going to have a country. I will continue to speak and be a voice to the voiceless until we get a country that works for everybody, not a country that works for very few. Until we have a country that works for everybody, not a country that works for few, that we're going to have a country. Someday we're going to have that country. We're going to rescue our country. Our country still needs rescue, because this government does not look like a government that wants to give hope or rescue our country from all its problems. Subsidy money is one of it, but the aftermath of it is worse than even the subsidy itself that we're talking about. May God bless you. May God bless me. I want this message to continue to go around. Go even to the desk of the president. I know President spokesperson are saying all these publications in the news and also on social media. Let us do the right thing by Nigerian people. Let us think about the people that we are governing. Government is by the people, for the people. Let our policies be for the people, not for ourselves alone in government. That is when we're going to have a country. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. My name remained Fadri Oluwadare Joseph, aka Father Joe. Thank you.